When you buy a ticket from Delta, United, or American, you probably think you know exactly what you're paying for. The traditional logic is straightforward. You give an airline money, and in exchange, they strap you into a highly engineered metal tube and fly you across the country at 500 miles an hour. But a few years ago, the global travel industry experienced a massive stress test. Passenger demand dropped to historic lows, and people suddenly stopped flying. Those expensive metal tubes were left parked on tarmacs around the world, completely empty, generating zero revenue from ticket sales. Yet the major carriers didn't immediately collapse. If a business relies entirely on selling flights, and selling flights becomes mathematically impossible, how do they keep the lights on? The answer is that airlines rely on a secondary, highly lucrative product running quietly in the background, the frequent flyer mileage program. This chart shows the physical value of a major airline's grounded fleet on the left compared to the valuation of its digital loyalty program on the right. During the deepest dips in global travel, these digital programs were valued at nearly $26 billion. That $26 billion figure puts the loyalty program on par with mid-sized financial institutions. It operates entirely independently of the day-to-day logistics of maintaining aircraft or hiring pilots. The major carriers operate as massive, unregulated banks that happen to own a few airplanes to serve as the marketing front. So if these shadow banks aren't relying on passenger fares to generate capital, we have to look at how they actually make their money. A central bank, like the Federal Reserve, controls the money supply by generating fiat currency, money that has value simply because the issuing authority says it does. An airline mile functions as a private, unregulated currency minted directly by the carrier. Because the airline is the sole issuer, they possess the unilateral power to create as many miles as they want, at any time, instantly. No raw materials to purchase, no supply chains to manage, and no physical manufacturing involved. The overhead cost to mint 10 million new miles is exactly zero. By removing the manufacturing and logistical costs associated with a physical product, the airline converts a digital line of code into a high-margin financial asset. But a digital point doesn't pay for jet fuel. The airline has to convert that free imaginary unit into real-world cash. This requires a second player to enter the ecosystem, major credit card issuers like Chase or American Express. This flowchart illustrates the closed-loop exchange. The airline sells zero-cost miles to credit card companies for roughly 1.5 cents each. When scaled up exponentially, selling billions of points generates a massive stream of real cash flowing directly to their bottom line. The credit card companies are happy to pay this premium. They use these miles as sign-up bonuses and point multipliers to incentivize you to swipe their cards for everyday purchases. The airline has successfully monetized a digital illusion, acting as both the central bank that sets the rules and the printer that creates the money. This system creates a serious vulnerability for anyone accumulating a massive balance of miles in their digital accounts, treating them like a long-term nest egg. Traditional currency kept in a regulated bank account is backed by insurance and legal frameworks designed to maintain its stability. Airline miles enjoy zero federal protection. The airline holds absolute monopoly power, controlling both the total supply of miles in circulation and the exact point cost of every flight. We can see the danger here. When an airline updates a single line of code, a flight that used to cost 50,000 miles instantly jumps to 100,000. As that price doubles, the purchasing power of every mile you've saved instantly drops by half. Because the ecosystem is entirely closed and unregulated, you have absolutely no legal recourse when the airline artificially deflates your balance overnight. Stacking up a massive point balance and holding it as a long-term savings asset is a mathematically guaranteed way to lose value over time. To protect your value, you have to treat frequent flyer miles like a highly volatile, rapidly depreciating asset. They are a currency designed specifically to lose worth the longer you hold them. Since the issuer controls both the inflation rate and the redemption costs, the only way to win is to spend your balance as fast as you earn it. Earn 'em and burn 'em. You finally saved up the miles for that big trip. You log in, pick your dates, and suddenly you hit a wall. Your account shows a massive points balance, but the airline's website throws up a calendar full of grayed-out dates and zero availability. The interface insists the flight is completely full. That sold-out status is a deliberate projection generated by the airline's front-end software. Carriers often restrict the inventory you can see when searching with points. By displaying empty shelves on their own site, they force you into a corner where your only option is to pay for the seat with cash. When you search on a specific carrier's website, you are operating within a closed ecosystem. They hold total control over the data you are allowed to see. But individual airlines do not operate in a vacuum. They are locked together in global partnerships known as airline alliances. These alliances come with overriding network rules that crack open the closed ecosystem of a single airline search engine. Trusting a single airline's user interface as the absolute truth means being locked out of flights that aren't actually full. To find the inventory, you have to bypass their front-end systems entirely. Circumventing these artificial front-end restrictions and finding the actual flight inventory requires looking much deeper, directly into the alliance's shared back-end data layer. Here is the legal quota in action. Primary airlines are contractually forced to release a guaranteed percentage of seats to global alliance partners. This creates ghost seats. United might hide this inventory, but the contract requires these exact seats to be bookable on partner platforms. When United tells you there is no availability, you check a partner network like Air Canada or Lufthansa. The legal quota allows you to pull directly from the true inventory, effectively ignoring the airline's attempts to hide it. Finding the hidden seat is only the first step. The next layer involves the fact that partner airlines do not value point currencies equally. This chart reveals alliance arbitrage, using a foreign partner's cheaper currency for the same route. American Airlines might demand 50,000 miles for a domestic seat, but booking that exact seat through British Airways drops the cost to 25,000 miles. You are booking the exact same seat on the exact same plane, securing a 50% discount simply by changing websites. There is no reason to pay double for the exact same inventory just because you are searching on the carrier's primary homepage. Mastering alliance arbitrage takes your stagnant, completely frozen loyalty miles and instantly turns them into a highly leveraged, fluid currency. To make this work, you have to reject the rules of individual airlines and exploit the interconnected global network instead. Acting as an informed arbitrager neutralizes the threat of artificial scarcity. You stop asking permission and start traveling on your own terms. With the alliance network fully decoded, the traditional, artificial barriers to booking your flight have been completely removed once and for all. To join this ecosystem and find the next system override, lock in right here. Don't get left at the gate. Subscribe to Hactually. More hacks, less work. Let's go.